hotel room incident occurred, and it may not be quite as colorful as the one you've already spoken of, but it was also equally revealing about the character of this man.
Oh, it tells about his ability as an investigator. I mean, Morris is good. He is really, really good. Here's his wife. He's told her, go to bed with anybody you wish. He knows that she's going to, I think this was Washington this time. Matter of fact, it may have been Watergate. So Morris knows where she's going, knows what name she's going to use on the plane, and here Morris goes with a private investigator. Big, muscular character. Gets there ahead, hides in the bathroom, in the shower, with a PI, with a camera. At this most delicate moment, out springs our little hero of ethics and morality with his camera, snapping pictures, and hits her full-fisted right in the jaw, almost breaks her jaw, and screams at her, "You wanted a divorce, now," and he followed it with a name, "We'll see about the divorce." Then he goes to her later and says, "I'm going to give you all these pictures, just out of the goodness of my heart. I'm through with this. I'm not going to hurt you anymore, girl. Here's all the pictures." Well, it wasn't all the pictures. And there's a great argument in here about who's going to see these pictures. As a matter of fact, in the court, in the trial, they put the pictures in an envelope and would not show them to anyone except to her, him, and the judge and the attorney. It just amazes me and perplexes me that the judge did not stop the trial after the Holly thing and refer Morris Dees to the bailiff for arrest and the case to criminal court.
You're speaking, of course, again of Holly, the stepdaughter, who also testified in the court transcript as to these incidents that you spoke of earlier, these very, very disgusting incidents. Now, Jim, it is a sad story. It's perplexing, but it gets sadder. It gets more perplexing. Morris Dees has, through the auspices of the Southern Poverty Law Center, has promulgated a report that they call False Patriots. And in that report, they proceed to label everybody under the sun who's involved in conservative and patriotic causes. Some very, very dear Christian, dedicated people are falsely smeared and maligned. And of course, in that same report, there's Timothy McVeigh and Terry Nichols, the obvious, blatant, transparent attempt to label people as terrorists. This, in my estimation, I presume you would agree, communicates to us that this is an urgent situation. This man is destroying people's lives, and it's so critical, it's so urgent, is it not?
Well, here's the urgency. Morris Dees has for years hoped, his grand hope, this megalomaniac wants to be a quasi-official arm of the federal government. He wants the powers that the FBI and the BATF have. He wants to be able to make arrests. He wants search and seizure. He wants to be able to get bank records. He wants to carry weapons. He wants to do all these things outside and without the oversight of the Congress of the United States. And he wants it all out of the federal budget.
Well, now, Jim,
that's the urgency.
It is very much suspected right now, is it not, that since 1982,
right,
the Southern Poverty Law Center has been contracted with by agencies of the government.
That's right.
So they're, in effect, they are, we believe, receiving government money right now.
Ronald Reagan allowed it through an administrative order in 1982 to pay organizations like the ADF and the Southern Poverty Law Center. But since this is, in fact, a black budget, there's no way in the world that they're ever going to give us the information on how much money and when this man was paid.
So we don't know how much of that $90 million war chest that he boasts of possibly came straight from the federal government. But we do know this, Jim. The Southern Poverty Law Center is a tax-exempt organization. When people make donations, they can actually take a tax deduction. That's a form of subsidy from the government.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Now, in addition to the False Patriot report, you mentioned how they can communicate with 5,000 law enforcement agencies. They routinely send out their smear bulletins to thousands of police departments, don't they?
This is most opportune time for us to do this video. You do know that Lon Harucci, the man who blew the face off of Mrs. Vicki Weaver while she was holding a 10-month-old child at Ruby Ridge in Idaho, was released this last week, freed from all culpability. The judge said, in fact, that he was an honest agent doing his job. Randy Weaver was set up by the federal government in a most amateurish way. The federal government investigated for months, kept people on his properties, kept him under surveillance. That's what these people want to do with Morris Dees. Morris wants the authority to tap your phone, to put listening devices wherever he wishes, and to be the one to come and arrest you because he says you're a hater. I'm tired of Morris Dees telling me who is and who is not a hater.
Well, it's also a very vivid and blatant reality that in the false Patriot report, for page after page after page, easily proved false information is presented. I can speak from experience because I myself enlisted 4 times under the state of Georgia as being over organizations that are quasi-terrorist type organizations in this report, and the organizations don't even exist, Jim. And you know other people, good friends of you and other people you know, who are viciously, falsely branded and smeared in this fashion.
And you know they portray us as being secretive. I called Southern Poverty Law Center. I said, hey, this is Jim Floyd. I'm going on the air today on Galaxy, satellite, what, you know. Read it all off to him. I said, look, I was talking to his #1 right-hand man, Mark Podot. I said, Mark, I would like for you or Morris One to come on the air with me. I said, out of my sense of fairness, I said, this is not going to be a friendly program. I don't like you, I don't like what you do, but I want to give you a chance to rebut me on the radio. Oh, Mr. Floyd, we just don't do things like that. I said, well, again, I called out of my sense of fairness, and I wish that you and Morris would be the same way before you denigrate people.
Now, of course, again, let us remember that in this case, we're talking about the facts, the truth, the evidence. They fabricate things out of thin air that aren't true about people. And once again, they are received by the media, they are received by law enforcement, the general public believes that what they say is true. What about the media, Jim? All they have to do is put out press releases and the Associated Press and USA Today pick it up?
They call Morris the Southern Poverty Law Center first. Whatever he says, that's what goes in the paper. I held an immigration rally at Cullman, Alabama on the 17th of January. We had professors, we had doctors, we had lawyers, we had educators, and they made the whole thing high intellectual dialogue and a good presentation. But when they talked to Morris's organization, it came out a bigoted, hateful, racist, where the far right met the right. And the far right were the neo-Nazis and the Cluckers. And the place was full of them, according to him. Right-wing good people led astray by the far right. And he said that he had a representative there. He lied again. He did not. He makes up these lies out of whole cloth. He had no one there. But we still got branded, brushed with that broad brush of bigotry and hatred that he wields so professionally.
Well, Jim, there was an incident that happened a few years ago where a gentleman in the state of Ohio was gunned down by a police officer. The gentleman that was shot and killed, his last name was Hill. He was a chaplain for a militia-type group, but a trigger-happy police officer killed him in cold blood. He had no gun on him. The police officer killed him, and you know, you have to wonder, was this police officer possibly operating under the phobia that had been engendered by Morris Dees?
Well, the BATF believed that Randy Weaver was possibly an armored car robber. I mean, this is what this is about. the lowly officer, when Morris comes to your police station or his representative, and your chief says, "Come in here. We're gonna have a symposium on hate and hate groups." If it's a Southern Poverty Law Center, start asking them questions. Ask them how long they've been a member of it. Do they live like Morris Dees? I mean, from these records, I have never in my I have some trashy friends, but I've never had a friend like this. I don't know anybody like this. I don't know a couple like that. This is so provocative and so base that the final decision by the court, and even the argument by Morris Dees' lawyer himself, was to the court, both these people are two pieces of trash, but it's just not